In this video, I'm going to show you how to earn the highest interest rate in your TFSA account. I'm Money with Mark, and if you like working less and living more, then hit the subscribe button to this channel. Because a huge misconception in Canada is that a tax-free savings account, the TFSA, is to just put your money and wait. But that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, the thing with the TFSA is that it's actually an investing account. And I know some of you watching this video are already gonna say,
"But Mark, I already know it's an investment account."
But some people don't. So what you're gonna do is make sure that the money inside your TFSA accounts is gonna be invested. Why? Because when you withdraw money out of your TFSA to buy food and ever increasing costs of rent, then you will be able to withdraw that money and pay $0 tax. And that's the beauty of the TFSA account, which is why it should not be considered a savings account. It should be considered an investment account. So now we know that we need to open an investing account with an online brokerage. And there's many different types of investment accounts. You can go with one of the big banks if you like to pay a lot of fees. You can go with new fintech companies like Wealthsimple, which is one of my favorite ways to invest for Canadians. Or you can go with a more established financial technology company like Questrade. And of course, I'll link to all of my favorite investment platforms in the description below, with some bonus sign-up codes that you can use if you want to get a little kickstart to your investment account. Now, if you want to get the highest interest rate with your TFSA, we need to know what type of TFSA account we need to open. On the bad end, you will see big banks that will open a TFSA that is not a self-directed TFSA, and they'll buy their own bank money funds with your money. It's basically like the banks taking your money and paying themselves and then giving you some pennies as a thank you. So I would avoid opening a non-self-directed TFSA, especially with the big banks. On the better end, in the middle, we have what is known as managed investing or robo investing. Typically, if you are paying managers like with a mutual fund, which a lot of the big banks, if you open a TFSA with them, they will then try to sell you on their mutual funds. And that is where they hire their own staff and pay them absorbent amount of salaries and charge you 1 to 2% management fee, which doesn't sound like a lot, but can actually add up to taking over 30 or even 50% of your total returns throughout your lifetime. So make sure that whatever fund you're going for has the lowest management fee possible, which is where robo investing comes in, or robot investors. And that can be offered in a few different ways. The most popular ones in Canada are Wealthsimple and Neo Financial, which offer what they call managed investing, where they have robots that come in and actually do the investing for you. Very similar to an index fund, but just with a slightly higher management fee than an index fund. And then on the far end of the TFSA, the best possible TFSA to earn you the most amount of interest or return on your investments would be a self-directed TFSA, in which you then buy low-cost index funds. My favorite ones personally are Vanguard's S&P 500 VOO or VFV. If you want to buy in the Canadian dollar. Then there's also total stock market index funds like VTI. I love these particular funds because they have a really low management fee and do and follow what Warren Buffett recommends, which is to just buy a low-cost S&P 500 index fund over and over again and hold it for your entire lifetime. So don't listen to me, take the advice of the best investor to ever live. And now let's talk about the platforms. The big banks all have their own version of investment accounts, which will all offer you TFSAs. And pretty much every story I've heard from them and how I first opened my TFSA was that I walked into the bank, opened an investment account, and they locked me into a market money fund that was their own fund. And I ended up earning basically $0 and they just basically took my money and then invested it themselves and, made a much higher return than they were ever giving me. In my opinion, this sort of a practice should be illegal in Canada, but Canada doesn't really prosecute white-collar crimes, especially financial crimes. So my advice is to basically avoid all the big banks. Do not open a TFSA with them. What I would recommend is using some of the new fintech companies that have really been taking a large amount of market share in Canada. Wealthsimple is probably the oldest and most notable, and in terms of using an actual app, it's been my favorite app to use. It's super simple to open an account. I can see all of my investment accounts, my TFSA, my cash account, all easily listed out. It's very simple to look up an index fund and to buy an index fund within one of my accounts. They make the entire process really simple, which is good because the name is Wealthsimple. So I would expect it to be at least a little user-friendly. Then there's also Questrade, which has been around a little bit longer than Wealthsimple. I used to use Questrade when I first migrated away from investing with the big banks, and I thought it was a pretty good platform, but it had a lot of options. I would say it's the opposite of Wealthsimple, where it has a very complex interface and allows you to do everything. But Questrade has made significant improvements just this year to their mobile app. They actually canned their old mobile app and they have a new mobile app, which actually I like a lot. I think they took a page out of Wealthsimple's book, and now the app makes it really, really easy for you to open up a TFSA and buy low-cost index funds, and then also see your money right in front of you in one easy screen. So where is your favorite place to earn a high interest in your TFSA? Let me know in the comments below this video. And am I missing any platforms? Should I have included a different platform on this video? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.